हे दोस्तों, वेलकम टू अपना कम्युनिटी। ये वो जगह है जहां आप अपने असली पोटेंशियल को एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं। देखो, सबके पास स्किल्स होते हैं, पर क्या आपके अंदर वो स्पार्क है जो आपको कामयाबी की ऊंचाइयों तक ले जा सकता है? अगर आप सोच रहे हैं जॉब चेंज करने के लिए लेकिन रेज्यूमे सेलेक्ट नहीं हो रहा या फिर इंग्लिश में इंटरव्यू देना थोड़ा चैलेंजिंग लग रहा है, तो फिक्र मत कीजिए। यहाँ हम हैं आपके साथ, आपको सपोर्ट करने के लिए। अपना कम्युनिटी में आपको मिलेगी बेहतरीन कम्युनिटीज जहां आप अपने प्रोफेशनल स्किल्स को सुधार सकते हैं। चाहे आप एक्सेल, टैली, जीएसटी में माहिर बनना चाहें या फिर आप खुद एक ब्यूटिशियन या डिजाइनर हैं, तो यहां आप अपने काम को शोकेस करके दूसरों को टिप्स एंड ट्रिक्स देते हुए आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। अपना कम्युनिटी में आपको मिलेगा मेंटर्स का एक खजाना और बड़े इन्फ्लुएंसर्स का साथ जो आपको हर कदम पर 1-to-1 गाइड करेंगे। यहां आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं अपने फील्ड या इंडस्ट्री स्पेसिफिक ग्रुप्स, जहां आपको ऐसे कई लोग मिलेंगे जिनसे सीख के आप वो गलती ना करें जो वो कर चुके हैं। ऐसे लोगों की जिन्होंने स्टार्ट किया था एज एग्जीक्यूटिव्स एंड आर नाउ सक्सेसफुल मैनेजर्स इन देयर डोमेन्स, जो आपको आगे बढ़ाने में मदद करेगा। यहां आपको मिलेगा वो सही डायरेक्शन जो आपकी करियर को नेक्स्ट लेवल ले जाएगा। तो लेट्स अनलॉक योर पोटेंशियल टुगेदर। अपना कम्युनिटी में ज्वाइन करें और अपने सपनों की ऊंचाइयों तक पहुंचने का सफर शुरू करें।
Hey, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. We'll be starting with our session right now. And while we wait for others, we can get started and, explore the session. If you're coming in here for the very first time, let me quickly introduce you to what we do here. This is a part of Apna's community exclusive. We have these sessions every day from 7 p.m. on weekdays and 3 p.m. on weekends. The main reason behind doing these sessions is to help our audience, help our, community members progress in their career, give them useful tips that can help them in professional growth. Today's session, we will be exploring the difference between product and project management. If people who are interested in management roles and people who are interested in a career in product management, this should be useful for you to understand how to progress in these spaces. And to help us understand this topic better, we have Bhavna here with us. Bhavna has been a senior product manager and has worked with Big Basket. And this is the second session that we are doing with her. Thank you so much, Bhavna, for joining us. I think it's best if you quickly introduce yourself and give an idea about what the session is about. And in the meantime, I hope other people would also be joining in.
Sure. Yeah, thank you so much, Deepanjan. I'm happy to be here for the second time. So, and this time it's about my favorite topic, which is product management and project management, because this is one of the common questions which I get asked. Okay, what career path should I choose? Right. So, I'm confident that this session will really give a lot of clarity to people on what is the difference between product management and project management, and what is the skills that they already have and how can they develop the other skills which is required for the job role. So thanks to Apna again and to Deepanjan. So let's get started. I'll give a quick intro about myself. So I after doing electronics engineer, I became a software QA engineer. So if at all there are so many fresher graduates here who have done something else, but now they want to do some other job which is not related to what they've studied, it's absolutely fine. It's very much normal. In fact, it happens to most of the engineers, I'll say. So I started off my career as a test engineer, and then I became a product manager in Big Basket. And one thing which I also loved is writing. So I became a blogger and then a mentor and a public speaker. So I've spoken in multiple organizations, universities, including London. And I've completed my engineering and completed my MBA from London. I will say that my experience as a product manager in Big Basket has been the key thing, because of which I'm able to tell you what's the difference between product management and project management. Because what happened in Big Basket is when I became a product manager, there were no project managers at all. So a product manager had to do both the jobs, and then project managers were hired. That's when I understood, oh, okay, these two are actually very different in nature and they required completely different set of skills. So Today, we'll be covering these topics. One is what are the role objectives? What does a product manager do versus what does a project manager do? And what are the skills and tools which are required for each of these roles because it's slightly different? And what are the challenges that a product manager will face? And it is quite different from the challenges that a project manager will face. And the career paths, how different or how similar are these career paths for a product manager and a project manager? And how can you get started? So let's say you're a fresher and then you happen to like project management. So how can you get started? Or if you felt, okay, you already know a bit about what is product management and you want to get started, how can you get started? So, and then we will have a Q&A session in the end. All right, so coming to role objectives. Okay, so I'll start off with product. So what does a product manager do is basically that person will decide which feature should I build next? What is the product that I will build next? And you have to build it in the right way. So, for example, let's say in WhatsApp, you might have seen it was just a chat option first, and then calls came into picture, and then status came into picture, right? And now there's community. So, there are a lot of new features which are coming into WhatsApp. Now, who decides all this? Right? So, someone has to decide, okay, this is what I'll build next, this is what I'll build next. And it is also about how will we build it, right? So for example, in calls, is it just voice call or is it video call as well, right? Or will we allow screen recording or will we allow voice recording in those calls? So these are the decisions which a product manager will take in the company. Okay. So now, whenever I have to build a feature or a product manager needs to build a feature, the first step is to do the research, right? So let's take the example of WhatsApp. Now they had chat and then they got calls and then they got status. Now, why do you think they got status in WhatsApp? So it could possibly be that in Instagram, they saw that stories worked very well, right? So stories were a major hit. I mean, stories are a major hit even now on Instagram. So they thought, okay, why not maybe have this kind of status feature even in WhatsApp, right? So that's the research that a product manager will have to do, and then data analysis. So when I say data analysis, you will have to see that, okay, what is the potential number of users which who will be using this feature, right? So you need to come up with some level of estimation saying, okay, at least 30% of WhatsApp users are probably going to use this feature, right? So you got to do this data analysis. For example, in Instagram as well, you could see that, okay, if there are 100 users, how many people are posting stories? Is it just 10 people or is it actually like 35 people? So if it is, let's say 35, then okay, that's a good number. Maybe we should experiment it on WhatsApp as well. So that's how you do the data analysis. Okay. So when I say data analysis, it is mostly competitor research. Of course, in WhatsApp and Instagram, it's all both the apps belong to Meta, so there's no competitor as such. But in general, let's say there's something which I want to build in Big Basket, I will probably check Amazon. What is Amazon Grocery doing, or what is, let's say, Swiggy Instamart doing, right? So before you do any feature, it's always important that you do competitor research. Okay. Now, let's say you are satisfied that, okay, this is the feature that I'm going to build, and then you will write the PRD. What is a PRD? PRD is product requirement document. Okay, so product requirement document is where you will tell, okay, in WhatsApp, we have, let's say, chat and calls. Now we will introduce the status. Now, how will the status work? That is what you will write in your PRD. Okay, saying, okay, the status will be only seen for 24 hours. And then you can even hide the status from a few people, or you can only show it to certain people. So all this goes into this product requirement documentation. Okay, so this is what is the main goal, or this is the main job responsibility of a product manager. And on the other side, what does a project manager do? Okay, so project manager main goal is to ensure that a project is delivered on time with good quality, right? Or can anybody in this audience give an example of you coming across, oh, this project was delivered on time? It could be even in your college, even in your university, or if you have been in corporate world. Most projects, I'll say 99% of the projects never get delivered on time. So now it's actually the responsibility of a project manager to ensure that project gets delivered on time and also of good quality, right? So just because you have to deliver on time, it does not mean that, okay, we will compromise with the quality. That can't be done, right? So that's what a project manager needs to ensure by bringing in all the people that are required for a project to be successful. Okay. So, what do they handle? They are the ones who create the project timelines. Saying, for example, we built ratings and reviews in Big Basket. So, we thought, okay, it's probably like a 4 months project, but it happened to be like 8 months project. In fact, I think it was 10 months project. So that's how the timeline gets stretched. Now, how are you going to communicate this to the stakeholders? Right? So when I say stakeholders, it's your management people saying they'll be waiting, right? So for example, Big Basket, they wanted to sell beauty products. And whenever beauty products are sold, generally people they would like to see the ratings and reviews on a product before trying out something. So ratings and reviews we had to build very, very soon. Now, but it got delayed so much from 4 months to 10 months. You, as a product manager, a project manager, you need to communicate this to stakeholders saying, okay, it got delayed because of this and this reason, because we thought, okay, it is probably going to take only this much, but it's taking 8 months or possibly even 9 months because we encountered this problem. So you are supposed to proactively communicate it to all the stakeholders. Okay. And what else is the day-to-day job? So a day-to-day job of a project manager is to conduct a daily stand-up. So I'm assuming there are a lot of fresher graduates here in the session. So once you enter in any kind of work, it could be in corporate or it could be in operations. Let's say you're working as a let's say in warehouse, for example, you're running the operations of an e-commerce company. You will have daily stand-ups. Okay. So and what I understood is I had been to this mini plant. Do you know Mini Cooper car? So Mini Cooper car manufacturing plant is in Oxford, UK. And what I understood is they also have like people in the manufacturing plant, they have daily stand-ups. Okay, so it's something not only in corporate world, it is not only in tech. So daily stand-ups, it is basically to ensure that, okay, what do you have any blockers in your current work? Or are you able to meet this deadline? For example, I am supposed to, let's say, manufacture 10 things within this week. Are we on track? That's what you will tell in your daily stand up. So a project manager, if at all, let's say, for example, Deepanjan is the project manager, I am one of the members in his team. If I have any blocker, I am supposed to communicate it to project manager, and he is supposed to ensure that that blocker is no longer there and what he can do so that the project moves on time. Okay. And the third thing is reporting. So reporting is basically to say that, okay, we are on time, good news. But if at all we see some delays, you as a product manager, let's say Deepanjan, he is supposed to tell that, okay, I think we may encounter some delays because of this reason. Or if we are very, very sure that, oh, okay, we are going to have this much delay, so he is supposed to communicate it to everybody involved in the project. So do you see the difference? It's a lot of difference, right? A product manager is like, okay, which feature should I build? Why should I build this? How should I build this? And what are my competitors doing? And finally, you will decide, okay, this is what I'm going to build. Versus a project manager, like, oh my God, I have to get this project delivered on time. I have to run daily stand-ups. I have to ensure everybody is unblocked if at all they're facing any issues, and then report it to all the people involved in the team. Okay. So that is the clear difference between project manager and a product manager. So when we think about these responsibilities, what we see is there are different skills and tools that is required by a product manager. Okay, so I'll go one by one. So let's take people management first. Okay, so when it comes to people management, I have taken this on a scale of 10. Okay, or let's say 80% or 100% like that. So when it comes to project manager, you are actively communicating with all the team members on a day-to-day basis. You are writing all the emails, you're talking to people, you're running meetings. So people management is like a core skill for a project manager. So that's why it's on 10. Okay, you really need to be good with people management if you want to be a project manager. In case of product, I'll say it's 50%. Okay. So because that's not your entire role, you can do competitor research on your own. You can write your documentation on your own. So it's not too much people management. Okay. And then tool. How many of you have heard of Jira? Can you raise your hand or put it in chat? Have you used Jira Atlassian? So Jira is from the company Atlassian. Have you heard of this tool Jira?
You can mention this on chat, or you can
Yeah.
unmute yourself as well if someone wants
Yeah.
to contribute.
Yeah. So, if at all you have not heard of Jira, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that watch some YouTube videos on Jira, because I'll say 7 out of 8 companies today, they expect you to know Jira. Okay. And it is useful for any role in general, even if you're a software developer or a tester or a product manager or a project manager, because that is what is being used in the corporate world, especially in technology field. Okay, and it's very easy. It's mostly for tracking status, saying okay, the project is ready for development, it's ready for testing, it's ready for deployment, it is ready to be used by customers. So it is to track the project progress. Okay, so definitely take a look at Jira on YouTube. Okay, so how much of Jira should you know if at all you're a project manager? That will be your bread and butter. Okay, so I'll say 100%. For a product manager, it is not that much. You may not use it on a day-to-day basis. So that's why I've given it 50%. Okay, certifications. How much value do these certifications have? I'll say this is a very, very key point for you to know, because many people who try to be a product manager, they will do one certification and then they expect, let's say, oh, I will get this job because I've already done product management certification. But that is not how it works. But in case of project management, there are certifications and that will give you credibility. Okay, so the project management certifications that you get, they're quite credible. Okay, and most organizations, they recognize, for example, CSPO or PMP. I will talk about these later. So these project management certifications are quite credible and it is widely recognized across organizations, even at a global level. Something like Prince2 or Agile Project Management, even a company in London will value that. Even a company or a startup in India will also value that. But a product management certification is not that valued. Okay. So that's why I've given like 100% credibility for project management certifications. For product management, it's just 50%. I will say these certifications are mostly for you to gain knowledge rather than thinking, oh, if I do this certification, I'll get this job. That doesn't happen with a product manager. Okay. So in terms of research, I'll say as a product manager, you will have to do a lot of research. So when I say research, like I said, competitor research. For example, if I'm building BB now, delivering grocery in 10 minutes, which competitors should I choose? Can somebody say? Who else is delivering groceries in 10 minutes? Any other companies who are doing this today in India? Can someone put it in chat or on mute and talk?
Yeah, we have one. Yeah, Geomart, Grofers, Zepto.
Yeah, Zepto, yes, definitely. And Blinkit, Grofers is now Blinkit. They say that, okay, with the before you blink your eyes, we will deliver your groceries. And guess what? They have been at the top one in the quick commerce for groceries. So that's really cool of them. So yes, so when we do research, I mean competitor research, and you as a product manager will have to see what is Zepto doing, what is, let's say, Swiggy Instamart doing, what is Dunzo. Even Dunzo people are doing, they are delivering groceries now. And what is, let's say, Zepto doing. Okay. So I'll say research skills are very, very important for a product manager. For project manager, it is not so much. Okay. Documentation, like I said, a product manager will have to write the PRD, the product requirement documentation, and that has to be very, very comprehensive. When I say comprehensive, it should include each and every case. For example, we were talking about WhatsApp status, right? So you should write, okay, we will have this only for 24 hours. Can you delete the status after putting it? And then, for example, when you're uploading the status, how will we show the loader when you are uploading the status before it is actually there? So you are supposed to write each and everything, even the slightest use case in your PRD. So documentation is like a must skill for a product manager. Of course, you will learn it with time. So it's not like, oh, when I decide, oh, this is what I'm going to build, I will write 100%. That's not how it happens. You will probably write around 80%. And then when you're thinking, when you're walking in metro, you might think, oh, I should probably include that as well. Right. So that's how it works. You can always keep, let's say, improving the documentation and tell that, okay, for now we will build this 80%. We have these next few features lined up in the pipeline. Okay. And in terms of tech and design, so when I say technology, I'll say digital literacy, or in terms of, let's say, how much of tech do you understand? Like, is it API? Do you understand what is a server? Do you understand what is a client? So, how much of technological terms do you understand? And how much of design language do you know? So, when I say design, I mean, okay, how is the user experience of this app? So, what I've heard is I'm not a user of Cred app. But people say that Cred design is very good. It's really like a lot of 3D animations happening in Cred. Many designers, they want to join Cred because the founder Kunal Shah really loves design in terms of user improving the user experience. So how much of, let's say, technological knowledge or how much of design knowledge do you need to have as a product manager? Definitely, let's say that product manager needs to have more than a project manager. Okay. And the last one, which is the presentation skills. I will say both a product manager and a project manager they need to be good at presentation. Okay, I'll tell you why. So let's say product manager, I have built this WhatsApp status. Okay. Now, after building this WhatsApp status, after 1 month, I am going to present it to my stakeholders, okay, and my team, saying, okay, hey, look, we built this feature 1 month ago. How many users are using this? How is the usage? Or people are not even using it? Whatever it is, that needs to be presented to the stakeholders. Okay. Now, for a project manager, let's say we have delivered the project of building WhatsApp status. I need to tell, okay, look, we had estimated it to get over in 4 months, but it became 10 months. And you need to tell that why it took so much of extra time. What are the hurdles that you faced? What lessons will you learn from those? Okay. And what are those lessons which can be passed on to other teams in the company so that any learnings in any project, it is communicated to others. Okay. So presentation skills, very, very important. So definitely work on your presentation skills. And I think these days there is AI which makes beautiful presentations. So definitely, I think the the website is called Udly, if I'm not wrong. Definitely give it a try. Okay, saying, okay, make whenever you have to prepare a presentation, because I used to be very bad at doing presentations, and the app is quite useful. Okay, so before going to the next section, do we have any questions?
Yeah, if anyone wants to ask anything, please feel free to unmute yourself and you can directly ask right now, or you can also put it in the chat. But yeah, any queries, any questions related to your career, please go ahead. Yeah, I think so far we've been talking about product management and project management and what is the difference between two roles and how to identify which one is better for you. So if you have any questions so far, please feel free to ask here. You can mention the questions on chat. You can also ask by directly unmuting yourself.
Okay, I think people will have these questions probably in the end.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we'll take them at that time. So even if you get any question, please feel free to put it in chat. We will take it up in the end. Because what happens is, I'll think, okay, this is the question that I have. I'll ask in the end, but maybe I would have forgotten the question. So
yeah,
it's better to always put it in the chat when you got that question. All right.
yeah, yeah.
So, okay, coming to the challenges, or probably I'll ask this question. So now you know what are the skills and what is the role that a person in product management does and what a project manager does. And can anybody guess what could be a challenge for a project manager? Like they need to, let's say, run meetings every day. Okay. What is this a kind of challenge or is it not challenging at all? What do you people think?
Yeah, please feel free to share your opinions, even if you have a basic idea about these. It's better if you have the session a bit engaging, interactive one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's one thing from, yeah, we have a couple of responses from Kamlesh and Swapnil.
Yeah. So making the life cycle of products. Yes. So this is a challenge for a product manager, right? Because, and there's a very, very good point, Kamlesh. Thank you for putting this. So see, a product manager, when I say that, okay, I'm going to build WhatsApp status, it's not like, oh, I will build these 3 features and it's over, right? You really need to have like one full roadmap, at least 10 things which will come one after the other, right? So for example, if you remember status, it first only had the option to upload images. It did not have this text option, right? Now on WhatsApp status, you can even write. You can even write text, right? And then they also included links, right? So that the links become clickable. So all this is in the roadmap of your product. So definitely it's a challenge for a product manager. Okay. Delivering sprint goals on time. Oh, yes, bang on. So that is the challenge for a project manager because, like we said, no project gets delivered on time, right? So yes, that's definitely a challenge. Paris says getting approvals from government. Okay, yes. So this is a concern whenever there is a legal requirement, right? So definitely it is there. Whenever, for example, in software products, it is slightly okay. Let's say I want to build ratings and reviews in Big Basket. Definitely, we will not need any approval from government. But let's say on the bill, so Big Basket also gives you the delivery statement. And now there are many things which came up later saying, oh, you need to include this, you need to include that GSTIN, you need to include, let's say, how much is the tax breakup in the delivery statement. So all this is a legal requirement. And guess what? Whenever these legal requirements come into picture, right, they generally have a deadline. And when we have this deadline, the other project gets delayed. And that exactly what happened with many of my projects as well. So we were doing project A, and then suddenly there are 2 legal requirements and they have a deadline and we have to do it. So this project A is put on hold and these 2 are taken on priority. So that's how, let's say, projects get delayed. So it's not always because of people. Sometimes it's also because of other important things which will come into picture. Okay, Tushar says to improve shelf life and marketing and pushing your product is the real challenge. Definitely, it's a real challenge for a product manager because you constantly need to, let's say, move as per your competitors or possibly, let's say, even become better than your competitor, right? So it is definitely a challenge to keep pushing your product. Yes. Prioritizing product backlog for product owner, yes. And to finalize the sprint goals for project manager, sprint planning, and keeping stakeholders happy. I think Swapnil is already working as a product manager, I guess, because you have summarized it very, very well. So, like you said, there is product backlog, right? So, for example, in WhatsApp status, I will first say, okay, it's just, let's say, images. And now you have 10 other ideas. Oh, I need to include text. Oh, I need to make it, let's say, colorful. You have this color option. And then you have this font. You can change the font in WhatsApp status. and then you need to make those links clickable. So there's so many things in your product backlog that you have in your mind. How are you going to prioritize it, right? So if we just consider these three things, the color, the font, and the links, okay, you people tell me, which is that first feature which you will build? Is it changing the colors, or is it changing the font, or is it making the links clickable? Which is more important that you need to deliver first? Come on, put it in the chat. I can repeat the question again. So let's say you are a product manager of WhatsApp product, and in status, you already have, let's say, you can write text in your WhatsApp chat, and then you have three ideas. Okay. One is you can change the color, right? You can make it red, blue, yellow in that WhatsApp status. You can change the font. And then the other thing is making the links clickable, right? So which feature will you build first? That's the question. Links, yes. Anybody else? Highlighting the links, yes. And shortlist and finalize on one. So, okay. Yes, so it's definitely the links, right? Okay, yes, we need to consider factors like efforts and impact as well. That's definitely there. So, for example, changing the color is possibly easy, right? Versus let's say link, because link is okay. You need to make sure that the link is trimmed, and then if a person clicks on it, it needs to redirect properly. So definitely, probably the effort is more in let's say link redirection versus changing the color. Changing the color is probably okay, give like 10 options and then you just keep changing. But in terms of importance and impact, like you said, it is definitely the links, right? Because it is going to add so much more usability. Saying, okay, if a person tries to click on link, then they will go to another website. So that is very, very useful rather than, let's say, the color option or the font option. Like, I mean, people can still manage seeing, let's say, only one color, let's say black and white. It is still manageable, right? And as a font as well, it is still readable. It's okay. But links, if it's not clickable, then it's not going to serve the purpose. So definitely, that was the right answer. Thank you, Paras. And who else answered it? Sorry. And Gayatri. Thank you. Okay. So we'll come back to this chat again. Okay. Um, I will finish the other two points which I wanted to cover. So challenges, let's talk about product. So as a product manager, you need to build the product in the right way. And you have to build the right product in the first place, right? So which is the challenge is basically for you to stay updated with the latest technology and design. One example I will give is chatbot. Okay. So chatbot, initially it used to be all manual people, let's say, responding to your chats. Let's say I am the customer service agent, you are the customer. So it used to be all manual before, but now who uses manual chat anymore? It's all first chatbots in the picture, right? So only when you see that, oh, this bot is not able to answer my query, that's when the chat or the call goes to a real person. So you need to stay updated with the latest technology and design what is happening. Okay. And then for the product manager, reprioritization is always a challenge. Okay. So because you will have, like I said, we are building this project A and B, and suddenly a legal requirement comes into picture. Now you really need to prioritize that because it possibly has a deadline to it. If it doesn't have a deadline, okay, you can still say that, okay, I'll do project A, then I'll do this legal requirement project, and then I'll come back to B. So this reprioritization is the job of a product manager, and it's always challenging. Okay. For a project manager, people management itself is the biggest challenge, right? Because it's really difficult to deal with people. Now you have this tight deadline, but then let's say a person goes on leave for 2 weeks. If it's emergency, fine, but let's say it happens. Now you need to convince the entire, let's say, stakeholder saying, okay, we are getting this delayed, and then possibly you need to bring in some other person in place of that work, right? So people management, again, even in stand-ups, there are always conflicts between, let's say, developers and testers saying, this is the bug, and they'll say, no, this is not a bug. So you as a project manager, you need to handle these conflicts in your daily stand-ups. Okay, it's quite fun if you like people management. So definitely give it a thought if at all you are a people person. Okay. And of course, there is always bandwidth constraints. People will say, no, we cannot take any extra feature because we have already decided that these are the things we'll build. And to deliver, let's say 10 features only, we need 4 months. Now, if your product manager, they add one more feature, hey, please do this also. It's very difficult, right? Because that small feature, which may look small, may actually be not small. It may take one more week. And then project manager will have to say that, okay, look, it took one extra week. And then changing priorities. Like I said, in case of legal requirement or something else, there's always priorities which are changing. So a project manager will not be, will really find it tough to deliver the project on time. So career paths, so the ones that you see in orange is a typical career path for a product manager, okay? So I started off as an associate product manager, then you became a product manager, and then you become senior product manager. And then there is group product manager. Sorry. So what is a group product manager? So group product manager, one example that I can give you is, let's say you might have seen in Amazon, whenever you go to any product description page, whenever you go to any product page, you will see similar products. As you scroll down, you will also see recommended products, right? Let's say you're buying a phone, you will possibly see similar products, other phones. But in recommended products, you will possibly see, let's say, a headset or let's say charging block, for example, and other thing, and let's say the back cover, which is, let's say, related to the Samsung S23. So a group product manager could be a person who handles the product page of Amazon, who handles, let's say, similar products and the recommended products. So these three are very different features, okay? You might feel that similar products showing that is very, very simple. But it is not very simple, okay? If at all you are browsing Samsung S23, now which are the similar products that you will show? Will you show, let's say, iPhone, thinking, okay, this person probably is looking for a high-end product and show those? Or will you show a Samsung product which is slightly lesser in value and think, okay, possibly we can show him this product and make sure that, okay, it's not too much difference. We can get the customer to buy this. So showing similar products again is not very easy. And even recommended products as well. Which recommended product will you show first? Is it the screen guard or is it the phone back cover, or what will you show? So all of these features, if at all you are handling as a product manager, he or she becomes a group product manager. Okay. And then there is director and VP of product. And eventually you can be, let's say, the chief product officer. So that is a typical career path for a product manager. So in case of project management, it is also quite similar. So the only difference is with, let's say, first is associate, and then project manager, and then senior project manager. And then there's a program manager. Now, what is a program manager? So I'll give you the example of how this worked in BigBasket. So let's say in the customer facing app where you shop groceries. So there is, let's say, your home page, all the features that you'll build on home page, and then you have search, because search itself is a very important feature in e-commerce, right? So many, like 50% of people, they just search. They don't go like, oh, I'll go to TV and then I'll search this, right? That may not happen. And let's say there is also customer support feature, right? Customer support also, again, you need to keep improving your customer service feature because it's constantly evolving so quickly in that space. So there are multiple. So generally each product is given a project manager, okay? Now, all of these, if at all you are a program manager, you are possibly handling all of these, everything in the front end product, okay? So that is the difference for a project manager and a program manager. And then there is director and VP, of course, okay? So how can you get started with project? So, okay, just give me 1 minute. I think my baby's crying a lot. I'll just be back in a minute.
Yeah, sure, no problem. In the meantime, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to share this on chat. We will be picking up these questions in the Q&A session. So throughout the session, if you had any doubts, anything like that, do make sure to share those things. Also, if someone here came in late, just a quick iteration of, we are doing these as a part of community exclusives. The main reason behind these sessions is to help you advance in your professional career. And in this session, we are mainly covering about difference in project and product and project management. I'm so sorry, I got confused between the terms. I think I need this session more than all people in the audience. So yeah, I think Bhavna is back. We can continue. I'll be quiet
Yeah,
for now.
thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a QA engineer, I didn't know the difference, Deepanjan, okay?
Yeah.
So even when I was a product manager at Big Basket, I really couldn't differentiate, okay, why do we need extra project managers? We are only doing this, but if you think about it as a career, it's a wholly different line. So it's good that we hired project managers so that we could actually do what we are good at. So yeah. So let's say few people are interested in project management, or let me ask in the group. Okay, after knowing this, how many people are interested in project, or how many people are interested in product? I mean, would you even try, give it a try? Do you think this is something that might interest you? Okay, project management. Tushar says project. Anybody for product, or everybody wants to become a project manager? How is it? Both, but more on product. Okay, project. Nice. Okay. Okay, awesome, awesome. Product. Okay, cool. Good, nice. So I'll tell you how you can get started as a project manager and as a product manager. So with project manager, like I said, certifications are quite valued when it comes to a project manager role. Okay. So one of the certifications which I will recommend is Agile PM, because most companies, they follow Agile methodology today. So Agile basically means that, okay, you have started a project and then you realize, oh, this is getting too much delayed. Now you had decided to build 10 features from this, let's say, WhatsApp status, but the project is getting delayed. Okay, what are, let's say, 3 features that you can cut down and deliver it, let's say, in the next sprint? So what are those 7 features which you will build, so that you can cut off and still maintain the timeline? Okay, so that is basically Agile project management. And then there are other popular certifications as well, which is CSPO, Certified Scrum Product Owner, and then Certified Scrum Master. Okay, so these are quite similar in nature. Do check it out. Okay, and then there is certifications called Prince2 and PMP. So this is quite advanced. So I'll say, if at all you're a beginner in this project management field, try to explore these 3. And then once you gain, let's say, 1 or 2 years experience, give this a shot. Okay, Prince2 and PMP, they're highly valued, and it's quite costly also. I think just Prince2 certification cost me like 1 lakh. So give it a try. Okay, go try to browse about Agile PM, CSPO, and CSM. Okay, so once you get the certifications, that's quite credible, and you can get started in project management. Okay, and generally startups, early stage startups, won't have project managers. So if even when you're applying, try to go for a medium scale startup. Okay, not, at least there should be, say, 100 employees in the company. That's when probably a project manager will be hired. Okay. So next I'll talk about getting started with product. So first thing is, I'll say 3 things are important for a product manager. One is the design thinking, and then there is product thinking, and the tech knowledge, okay, that you need to have. So when I say design thinking, it's basically to interact with designers on a day-to-day basis, okay? So you will be talking to designers and saying, hey, I think this is how we should do it. The button should probably look something like this. We should probably place it near the thumb, because that is the action that you want users to take. So design thinking is important because you need to understand the designer's language. Okay, I'll say these 2 books are quite, I'll not say quite, these are the books which help me develop the knowledge that is required in design thinking. Don't make me think, it's a very, very easy book. It's like a story book, actually. It's very small. It's like small notebook. Definitely give it a try. And then there is Design of Everyday Things, which is like the Bible of designers, I'll say. Both are quite easy books to read. Give it a try. Okay. And then there is product thinking. So how can you develop product thinking? You might have heard of, okay, push notification, and then somebody comes to the app, and then you give them a reward, and then they'll come back again. So that cycle is there. So these basic things are covered in the book called Hook. Nirayal, he takes the example of Instagram and he explains it well. So do give this a try if at all you want to. I mean, even if you have not decided, oh, I'll become product manager, give it a try. If you like these things, then you can proceed in that path. And then Nudge, it's a very nice book. Another example that I'll give for Nudge is, let's say you have shopped for 700 rupees, and then you will see in the basket page or in the cart page, you will see, okay, if you shop for 50 rupees more, then you will unlock free delivery, all that, right? So that is your nudging. Okay, saying, okay, if you do little more, or if you just, let's say, shop for 200 rupees more, you will get 100 rupees off, for example. So that is nudging, so that you increase the revenue of your company. So it's a quite nice book, and it is these books. The reason that I've highlighted these four books is it's very simple to read, and these are the books which helped me when I became a product manager. In terms of tech knowledge, um, so there's a book called Tech Simplified. I've not read it, but I've really heard very good reviews from people who have read it. And there's also, if at all you're not a books person, but you want to try something on the website, then nondevelopers.co. That's a very nice website. Again, I have not taken this personally because I had the tech knowledge from because I came from a test engineering field, but definitely give these two things a try. Yeah, so that you can get a better understanding of different things about design, product, and tech. Okay. So these are the things that I wanted to cover. I'm happy to take any questions. And before that, I would like to thank Deepanjan and Apna for inviting me for the second time. I'm happy to collaborate, and I would definitely love more questions so that we can have this more interactively. And your question might definitely help others in the audience as well. So definitely feel free to ask anything. Okay, and do connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Bhavna Angadi. Right. So yeah, over to you, Deepanjan.
Yeah, I think we have one question in chat. This is from Swapnil. He wanted to understand if Agile PM is it offered by Scrum Alliance. He also mentioned as CSPO is not offered. As CS One second. As CSPO is offered. If not, where can we look for them?
Okay, so like I said, Scrum Alliance is a good one. So there are a couple of organizations which are quite credible. So you can ping. I mean, I can't remember it on top of my head. You can ping me, and I'll be happy to tell you on message saying, okay, so CSPO, again, it is offered by different organizations. So which one is better is probably your question, right? So ping me, and I will definitely get back to you with the answer.
Sure. So Bhavna, should I link your link your LinkedIn profile here? Yeah.
Yes, please
Okay.
do.
Okay.
So that if there are any questions, like for example, this is a short question, I can definitely come back
Yeah.
and reply to them. So
Okay.
yes, Tushar is saying books are a must. Definitely yes, because books are quite cheap. I'll tell you. We might think, okay, one book is 500, but think about a movie ticket price, right? So instead of that, if you just buy this book and read it, that's what has helped me when I became a product manager. Yeah.
If there's any other questions, please feel free to like unmute yourself. You can ask the questions directly. You can also type those down in chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any question from anyone particular here?
Meanwhile, I'll try to check the CSPO one.
Yeah. Is there no doubts? Is everything crystal clear for everyone? Like even if you have any general career related questions, something that you want to know. Yeah. Swapnil has a question. Uh,
So yes, Scrum Alliance is the one, and the other credible one is PMI. So that APMG International. So that's the organization from where I did this. So I'll just ping this in the chat. It's quite credible. It's recognized at a global level as well. Even in London, people valued this. So I will ping this in the chat. Oh God, where is the chat option? I can't see it.
Yeah, they've changed their interface recently.
Oh, it was in minimized way, and chat was not there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Chat is so important. I am doing CA, and is any of the two more related with my academic? Oh yes, I will say project management. Okay. So what happened is in my MBA class, there was a person who came from construction industry, and he said that he's a project manager. I was like, okay, wow. And what he told me is, come on, think about it. At least in software field, at least let's say it's only a team of 10, but when it comes to construction of, let's say, a huge building, or you're constructing something massive, it's really lot more people, maybe like 50 people, including like every worker. So project management is there in each and every field. Product management is definitely is possibly there only in, let's say, tech related product or something which involves design. Let's say somebody is designing a microwave, okay, somebody is designing a TV. So definitely product management is there in terms of hardware product or software product, okay. But project management is there in each and every field. So even for a CA, it's there, okay. So
Yeah, I think that question sort of translates to like any person willing to transition into this and is not from a technical background.
yes.
So it's still a viable option for them, right?
Yes, definitely. If at all you're not from tech and you want to come into tech, project management is the best option for you. That's what I'll tell. Because see, learning, the mentors, like many people who reach out to me, right? So they are already in tech field, and then they try to become product manager, and that itself is a little bit challenging because you need to understand the business thinking, you need to understand design thinking, right? So the best option that I will suggest anybody here in this call is come big from a tech field or a non-tech field. First become a project manager, and then work with product managers in the team, gain all that, at least the basic foundational knowledge, and then you decide whether you're enjoying this project management, doing this meetings, like enjoying those challenging times when you have to deliver the product on time, and then you can decide what is that you like. So project manager is the best option for you to take it as a first step.
Yeah. So while we wait, if in case there's any other questions, I have a couple of things that I wanted to clarify for the audience, even if people who would be watching this later. So one thing would be for freshers, right? So since most of the people that we are hosting this for is freshers, so is this a field that freshers can get into with ease, or is there a blocker with experience?
Okay. Saying, okay, Tushar says it's easy. Okay. Yes. Be open-minded. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I think thinking optimistically is the way to go. So I think we should assume that, okay, this is doable. I think that's the right way to put it. So it should be doable, and it should be about putting the hard work to do any transition. See, it's really not about just freshers, right, Deepanjan? Even
Yeah,
if I'm a tester and if I want to become a product manager, it is not easy today,
correct.
right? So you really need to put in that effort and think that it is doable. So for freshers, definitely I think that it is doable. That mindset is very, very important.
Yeah.
I'll say project management is a good option forward.
Yeah. There's one question from Karan. Says project manager, does he have the ability to make changes to the product, or it can only be done?
Uh,
Yeah.
okay, a good question. So a project manager, they will not be able to decide on the product changes, because ultimately the success or the failure of the product, it is the responsibility of a product manager. Project manager is to only ensure it gets delivered on time and with good quality. It shouldn't be like, okay, I'm delivering it on time, but it has a lot of bugs. That's like a bad thing for project manager. But if at all, okay, delays are common, little bit of delay, but still, let's say the product failed. For example, LinkedIn had this profile video feature.
Yeah.
Okay. but they removed it. So possibly the adoption rate was very less. Probably nobody even saw it, right? So that video feature, they removed it. So I mean, we will know whether a feature is a good hit or a bad only when we actually put it in live, right?
Yeah.
Some features which we think, oh, this will not even be used. You won't believe this, people. You're thinking, who is going to rate sugar, salt on Big Basket? Guess what? Sugar is the product which received like 50,000 ratings. Okay, more than anything else. So, what we think may not actually be what happens in life. So, definitely, I will say that be like, and it's the responsibility of a product manager. Okay, whether a product was a failure or a success. So project manager cannot make changes to the product. If
Yeah.
they have any suggestions, definitely they can communicate it to product manager, and that has also happened. Okay, so even a developer can think of something more innovative. Even a QA can think of something innovative. Even a project manager, but it has to be consulted with the product, and they need to give a heads up saying, okay, yes, I think this is good, let's go ahead. So that's the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can take one last question. What would be a common skill which a project and a product manager would have, and will certification give more weightage in profile shortlisting?
Yes. So first question, the common skill is the presentation skill. Like I said, it's very, very important because you will be either presenting about your product, let's say whether it was successful or it is a failure, or you need more time to evaluate whether it's a successful or a failure product. So presentation skills are common. And like I said, so there are some people management, again, is the next common skill, because even as a product manager you will be dealing with developers or testers on a day-to-day basis saying, okay, hey, look, we need to do it this way, right? So I'll say presentation, which basically involves communication skills, and people management. These two are very, very important for both of them. And your second question, will certification give more weightage and profile shortlisting for project manager? Yes, 100% yes. Even if I'm hiring or a HR is hiring, if at all, let's say I have not done certification, but you have done, let's say, Agile PM, for example, you will be given more weightage. Okay, so certifications, they carry value when it comes to project management, and try to do it in a let's say well recognized organization like Scrum Alliance or APMG, like that.
Yeah, I think with that we come towards the end of today's session. Bhavna, if you have any parting words, please share that with us, and post that I'll move towards the concluding lines.
Yeah, so I'll say thank you everyone for making this a session quite an interactive one. I really enjoyed this. The last one we were thinking, okay, it was not very interactive. How can we make it better? We hope to come back with polls as well next time. So yeah, see you all soon in the next one. Thanks again, Deepanjan and
Yeah.
Apna. And I will definitely recommend Apna sessions to people coming here. Come back, even if, let's say, you cannot come back every day, try to come at least like 3 4 days in a week, because this is quite helpful, especially if you're trying to transition or if you're a fresher. Because if when I was a fresher, I didn't have any of these things. Okay,
Yeah.
it was like complete zero when I entered the corporate world. But now I think Apna and other online platforms have so much knowledge for freshers as well. So yeah, thanks.
All right. Thank you
Hello,
so much. Yeah, is someone saying something?
hello,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
हेलो मैम गुड इवनिंग।
Hi, Suresh. Yes, tell me.
यस मैम, ये वर्क अपना जो ऐप है
Mm-hmm.
इसमें मैंने अपना रेज्यूमे वगैरह सब कुछ शेयर किया हुआ है
Okay.
अपना। जी जी, उसके बावजूद भी जब कंपनी से कोई कॉल, मैं सब कुछ करता हूँ, कंपनी से कोई कॉल वगैरह नहीं आता या कुछ ऐसा,
Okay.
मतलब ये
Okay.
किस लिए मैम, प्लीज।
या श्योर। देखिए सुरेश जी, ये मेनली आपका रेज्यूमे कैसा है, कैसे जॉब्स में अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, काफ़ी सारे फैक्टर्स हैं जो इसमें अफेक्ट करेगा। अगर आप सीखना चाहोगे कि कैसे आपका ये रेज्यूमे सिलेक्ट हो या शॉर्टलिस्ट हो, हम इस पे भी सेशंस करते हैं। जैसे आई थिंक हमारा एक सेशन हम इस वीक नहीं 1 या 2 जुलाई को हम पब्लिश करेंगे, विच विल बी अबाउट हाउ यू कैन क्रिएट अ बेटर रेज्यूमे, है ना। तो ये सेशंस आप अटेंड कीजिए। आई थिंक दैट विल हेल्प। आप हमारे पास सेशंस भी कर सकते हैं जहाँ पे हमने डिस्कस किए कि इंटरव्यूज़ के चांसेस इंप्रूव करने के लिए क्या क्या चीज़ें आप करना चाहिए, क्या क्या ज़रूरी होता है। एंड ऑब्वियसली रूम फॉर इम्प्रूवमेंट होता ही है, एंड कंपटीशन भी ज़्यादा है। तो आप like definitely don't lose hope is what I would say. Apply to as many companies that you can. ट्राई कीजिए जहाँ जहाँ पे आपके रेज्यूमे में शॉर्टकमिंग्स है उसको आप इम्प्रूव करने की कोशिश कीजिए एंड फिर से अप्लाई कीजिए. ऑब्वियसली जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी हैं एंड सेम जॉब में बहुत लोग अप्लाई करते हैं, तो लाइक डोंट लूज मोटिवेशन, यू विल डेफिनेटली फाइंड समथिंग सूनर देन लेटर.
Yeah, that's
ओके
really true. Yeah, I mean, an example is in London, I applied to 800 jobs, okay, and I got 2 job offers.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can imagine the rate, okay, and of course it's quite challenging because it took almost like 3 months for me to get those job offers. So it's not easy, and the market is also not very good right now. The key thing is to attend these sessions on how to improve your CV, right? So it could be simple things, okay, like you shouldn't have your photo. You need to ensure that you have put your phone number, email ID, and then even LinkedIn link, okay, or it could be simple things, okay. So having those basic things in your CV, including your education, which college, so these things become very very common, very very basic, okay, because these automated tracking softwares itself will remove if at all these basic things are not there.
Yeah.
Okay, it could be possibly even your formatting issues. That
Yeah.
is what happened with one of my colleagues. Okay, so the formatting is so bad that the ATS, the tracking softwares, could not even read the information properly, though everything was there.
Yeah.
So it's very important that you attend these how to improve your CV skills. Yes, interview things will come later, but just improving your CV to help in shortlisting, definitely attend those sessions and see how you can improve your CV for the job role that you are applying.
ओके मैम, बट मैंने सब कुछ मेंशन किया हुआ अपने सीवी में, स्किल, टेक्निकल, एजुकेशन.
Yeah.
यस.
हाँ भाई, सुरेश जी देखिए वो मतलब आपने जो अभी आपको लग रहा है कि आपने सही किया है, मे बी आपसे बेटर कुछ लोग कर रहे हैं, तो
Yes.
आप वो ट्राई कीजिए कि देखिए कहाँ आप इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं
Yeah.
एंड ट्राई करते रहिए. एंड अभी कुछ जॉब्स में अगर आपने अप्लाई किए हैं तो और जॉब्स में अप्लाई कीजिए. आप ऑनलाइन भी सर्च कर सकते हैं, हमारे सेशंस भी अटेंड कर सकते हैं एंड ऑब्वियसली कुछ ना कुछ इंप्रूवमेंट तो हो ही सकता है ताकि बेटर चांसेस हो, इम्प्रूव हो. हम ये नहीं कह रहे हैं कि आपने कुछ गलत किया है, बट बेटर आप जरूर कर सकते हैं, राइट?
हाँ
Yeah.
जी, थैंक यू सर.
नो
एक्चुअली
प्रॉब्लम. हाँ.
सर, आपके जो इधर रहता है, हर स्टेट में रहता है. जैसे मैंने जम्मू के लिए लिखा हुआ था सर, बट मुझे जम्मू के लिए इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल नहीं रही
करेक्ट
जैसे दिल्ली के लिए ज्यादा है. तो
करेक्ट
जम्मू
करेक्ट.
मैंने प्रेफर किया हुआ वहां पे, बट
हाँ वो तो देखिए रीजन टू रीजन डिफर करेगा. ऑब्वियसली मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज़ जैसे दिल्ली, बैंगलोर, मुंबई, यहाँ पे अपॉर्चुनिटीज ज़्यादा है क्योंकि कंपनीज यहाँ पे ज़्यादा है. हमारे हमारे यहाँ में डेफिनेटली आपको होम टाउन में जॉब्स भी मिलेंगे, बट ऑब्वियसली नंबर कंपेरेटिवली कम होगा. सो आप ट्राई करके देख सकते हैं. अगर आप कंफर्टेबल है मूव करने के लिए तो आप मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज़ में भी ट्राई कीजिए. डेफिनेटली वहाँ पे ऑप्शंस आपको बेटर मिलेंगे.
ओके ओके सर.
या
जैसे सर आपने वर्क फ्रॉम होम के लिए, जैसे
या
उसके लिए सर, अगर यहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ आता नहीं है सर, आई थिंक, जैसे
करेक्ट
वर्क फ्रॉम होम.
करेक्ट करेक्ट. देखिए वर्क फ्रॉम होम का टू
थोड़ा
बी
सा.
वेरी ऑनेस्ट वो अभी कोविड के बाद बहुत कम अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं.
Yeah.
मोस्ट कंपनीज हैव स्टार्टेड डूइंग इट लाइक
Yes.
calling people back to office.
At
So
least 2 days in
yeah,
office, right? So
correct.
work from home, complete remote and all is like very few companies.
Yeah,
So, and see, right now, if at all you're looking for a job very seriously, right now you should be open to anything. Okay.
yeah,
So first get to that job, even if it is, let's say, 3 days work or 5 days in office. I would suggest that you should not keep this work from home as a main requirement. Get the job, and then okay, once you get a job, get that income flowing, and then meanwhile you can keep searching for a work from home job, and once you get it, you can switch, right? So
correct.
if you constraint as work from home, it is very very difficult, even for me or even for Deepanjan, right?
Yeah,
He cannot have these constraints right now considering the current market.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
ओके
Yeah,
ओके मैम, थैंक यू सर, थैंक
no
यू मैम.
problem. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
welcome.
All right, so I'll quickly come towards the conclusion. Firstly, thank you, Bhavna, for giving your time and explaining these things. I hope people who joined the session found this useful. And drawing a quick reminder towards like filling out the form that we have shared here. It's a feedback form that you can use to let us know what kind of sessions you'd like us to host in the future. Is there anything that we can do better? You can also check the website out. I have shared the link on chat. So here you will find the recording of this session and also any other sessions that we've done in the past. You can also register for upcoming sessions from there itself. So it'll be easier for you to attend more sessions and be aware of which topics we're covering. Once again, I hope people who came here found it useful. A very, very thank you for making this a successful one, and hope to see you again in the next session. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. See
Bye.
you all. Bye.